I'm a little bit excited, can I say, for this next one. We need to, along with the food and the singing and the makeup and everything else, we need some drinks, Nick.
We need to fill the glasses.
Nick Tesar is here, folks. We are very lucky to have Nick, who is Time Out Barman of the Year. So if anyone knows about them, this is the guy you want at your party, which probably happens in your own parties too. Nick, can you make us a drink? Do you get that as well?
Absolutely. Which is why it's so important to keep things simple, because you want to be able to enjoy the party as well.
Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. Yeah, we normally say, I'll get your first drink and help yourself. There it is there. All right, well, enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen. Also, please continue to send through your questions at the chat bot, which is down on the right-hand side of your screen right now. Send the questions through. Nick, for everyone who sends the questions in, some of them we don't get to, but most of them we do, which is great. Not only you get some great advice from people like yourself, but everyone goes in the draw for a $1,000 prize giveaway. Now, it's $1,000 worth of vouchers. You've got $200 voucher from Mecca, $200,000, whoo! Suddenly the budget went up. $200 from Mecca, $200 from Maya. We got $200 from Dan Murphy's as well.
Lovely.
Which will fit in perfectly. And also $400 from Coles. So thank you all for your support with that. Someone's going to win that, but for now, I'm going to leave it to you. I'm probably going to come back a lot in this one, so just be aware.
Someone's got to taste the drinks.
Yeah, hey, I'm here. I'm happy to be your guinea pig. All right, enjoy. Nick, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks very much for having me. I'm Nick. You'll find me behind the bar at Bar Liberty in Fitzroy. I also make the Marionette liqueurs and have written a couple of books in the last year. We're going to start by making sure that Christmas is very inclusive with a non-alcoholic number. Not everyone is able to drink at Christmas time, and it's important to make sure that everyone is having a really good time. This one is a super simple number from the book that Sean and I wrote last year, which is all about using produce in the peak of its seasons. It's a drink that combines nut milk, which is really simply water and nuts blitzed up and then passed. In this case, we're using almond milk, but if you want to be fancy, macadamia works really, really well, and there's a recipe in the book. We're combining 75 mils of that with some cold brew coffee, 60 mils of cold brew coffee. It's always important to stay awake when you're with your family members at Christmas. And a blackberry syrup. This is a spiced blackberry syrup where we've cooked down blackberries with sugar, star anise, nutmeg, and cinnamon. It's essentially designed to be like a horchata, which is a Mexican nut milk drink, but just something really simple, refreshing, but feels quite festive at the same time. Just combine those three ingredients, stir. Sorry to bend over there. Top with ice. Give it another little stir. To finish this one off, just a touch of nutmeg over the top. And there you go, a really simple way to kick off Christmas for those who aren't partaking in alcohol this year. Moving along, we're going to go through a couple of spritz options. I find that spritzes are a really fun and easy way to get through Christmas Day. They're super simple, really easy to knock up, everyone can get involved, but also low alcohol. One of the biggest problems I have with Christmas Day is longevity, being able to get through the whole day as opposed to needing that nap straight after lunch. So we're going to start with, I guess, classically a spritz needs to have a wine element, a bitter element, and fizz. I've made it a little bit looser by incorporating spritz being just anything fizzy. Firstly, a whiskey highball. Whiskey highball is a blend of whiskey and soda with ingredients to add flavour to it. In this case, we're going to use a local whiskey. These guys are in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. A touch of orange liqueur. And then, because I like to make my life easier, we're going to use a touch of the blackberry that we just used for the previous drink. It's always great to make one ingredient and use it in a number of drinks. That way your work is less. So 30 mils, 10 mils, and 10 mils. And then 90 mils of soda. when you're making a drink with a fizz component, it's always really important to pour the element with bubbles, the soda or the wine, into the drink before you add ice. Adding ice after you've added the fizz means that all the ingredients bind together, but also all the bubbles are trapped. So you get a much nicer drink. A little stir to combine. Garnish with some citrus. You've got a very fancy whiskey highball everyone's going to enjoy. Now for a gin and tonic. Again, all local products today. Melbourne Gin Company, made out in the Yarra Valley. Just give the jigger a rinse. $20 mils of that. $20 mils of a red currant liqueur. And 90 mils of tonic. Top with ice. And garnish with a citrus wedge. There is a fancy pink gin and tonic for Christmas Day.
Oh, Nick, powering through these drinks, I'm not complaining at all. This is awesome. Now you've gone, can I ask, so I got first of all, got a question from Tom. Tom, can I try one?
Yes.
Oh, great, awesome. Which one should I try? I'm going to do the old G&T, you can't get one. You've gone all red. Is this for a Christmas vibe you're choosing so far to go with the Christmas?
Try to keep it festive.
Keep it festive?
Pink drinks go down a treat at Christmas time. Also, these things are all seasonal to this time of year.
Okay, yeah.
Looking at berries, they're bright, they're fresh, and it's keeping it in with what's growing locally at the time.
Perfect. Hey, a separate question, and this is probably a question from me as well. When people are in your bar, do you hate when people change the recipe of a cocktail? Like you say, do you mind if I have it without that? Because can I do one? We're going to set up the scene. I've started doing Aperol Spritz a bit differently, and I know it's a bit wrong. I'll say, can I please have an Aperol Spritz without the Prosecco? Is that like, do you want to come in and like just slap me on the face? Or?
Well, that's just an Aperol and soda.
Yeah. But if it's in a big glass with lots of ice, and it still feels like I'm having a cocktail.
Mate,
that's what you should say to me.
There's nothing wrong with an Aperol and soda.
Yeah, I want a barman to come out and go, mate, it's an Aperol soda. It's not even a Spritz anymore. Yeah.
Well, it's still a delicious drink. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, good.
I'm more than happy to make an Aperol and soda for you.
Okay. Perfect. So I saw a Spritz. Ash is asking, how far in advance can you make a Spritz? Oh, that's a good question.
You can. The easiest way to get through Christmas Day is to combine all of the elements that you're going to use, except for the fizzy part.
Okay.
Then you just pour in 60 mils of the pre-batched liquid, top with fizz, into a glass.
Okay, perfect. Okay, one other little one is, I know it's probably you probably can't answer this question for legalities, but I don't own any of these at home.
Yes.
Is that a bad thing? Like I'm a bit of a free pourer. Is that? I mean, obviously the consistency is out then, but
there's no rules about giving yourself a slightly larger pour.
Okay, cool.
That's more about responsible service in a venue.
That's fair enough.
Consistency is important, though.
I'm not trying to be like Jamie Oliver, just going, no, just chuck it in, whatever. Yeah.
Just garnish the board.
Yeah. Good tip. I just need to double check this one, Nick. I'll let you continue.
The next one's another super simple spritz. This one's a Vermouth Spritz. We're using a local Quinquina, which is an aromatized wine that has cinchona bark, which is what gives you quinine in tonic. We've got 40 mils of that. A local passion fruit gin liqueur. 30 mils of that. Serving it in a wine glass, just so you can hold it by the stem. Feels fancy, looks great on a table. And 90 mils of soda. Again, top with ice. Keep all the bubbles in there. And then garnish with mint. To get the most out of your mint, you just want to give it a nice slap before you put it in the glass. It just releases the oils, makes it smell really nice. There you go. Now, we're going to get to the business end of lunch. Preparing a drink that everyone can share. Moving on to a large format drink. A great way to share drinks for a Christmas occasion is punch. We're going to build a punch bowl to sit in the middle of the table for Christmas. This one's a little bit more boozy, a bit more alcohol in it. Something that we need to, I guess, be aware of is consumption at Christmas time. So in terms of this, it's very important to share around just in case you don't get a little bit wobbly. I'm going to make it in a mixing jug first so I can measure out all the ingredients, give it a good blitz, and then we'll build the punch bowl. Starting off with the nut milk. All of these recipes are able to be followed in the card for today with orange juice, and a touch of finger lime. Finger lime's an Australian native citrus. When you get the finger limes, they come like this. Slice them in half, and you've got the lime caviar, the little pearls inside. With this, we just take 5 of these and squeeze them out, pulling out all of the lime caviars, but preserving the shells so that we could use those as the garnish for the drink. These are really acidic and really add to the balance of the drink. This one here is called a Northern Rivers Punch, as all of the ingredients come from the area of Byron Bay, which for me is true escapism. It's where I want to be spending my summer holidays. Now I have got measuring lines on the side of this jug. I'm not just pouring in half a bottle of rum tim. Local rum, a macadamia liqueur, some orange liqueur, and some condensed milk. Plug in and give it a really good blitz with a hand blender. You want to get it nice and frothy. This also breaks up all of the lime caviar, or the finger lime. So you get all the acidity out of it, and it gives you a really good texture in the drink. I'm going to fill the punch bowl with some ice, chill it down. Pouring the mixture over the top. Making a mess at the same time. And then garnish the bowl. For this one, we're going to use mint and the retained husks of the finger lime to garnish. And then one of the most important parts of making a punch bowl is that you should never serve yourself. It's always about sharing. So I will spoon this into a glass for someone else to try.
Someone to try it. Hey, we need a volunteer. Let me see if there's Anyone else? Is there a volunteer around who'd like to try it? I'll give it a go, Nick, so I can't find anyone else. That's why we're online. It's just you and I here and some crew, but don't need a drink.
There's enough to go around.
Don't be jelly.
Would you like to go at garnishing a glass, serving it up?
Yes.
This is how I'd serve it. Yeah.
And good. And can I say thank you as well for leaving half the glass to be able to drink it? People have put like, there's no sun umbrella or anything else going to get in the way, but all right, here we go. Cheers. Yeah. Just leave the bowl on a straw, will be fine. Nick, it's all good.
And it's your turn now. You've got to serve me one.
Oh, really? Oh, all right, hang on. Nervous. That's enough ice. You don't want any more ice in this, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Oh, God, I've just drunk and sunk your mint leaves. Oh, we've got one extra bit of ice going in. Oh, it's a double pour. The restaurant owner's not going to be happy. Oh.
Now, please, garnish away.
Let me look at mine. Okay, there. Oh, no, okay, so you put that on top there. Right. Not copying, but absolutely am. And this will make me a real barman if I... Oh, hang on. Is that stems? Oh, no, stems on there. This will make me a real barman if I do this. I've just learnt today why they do it. Thanks for the advice. I've just knocked the oils out of it, probably.
It smells good.
Yeah, it does. That's why, see? I just thought you guys were just trying to be Tom Cruise or something. Oh. Am I making you nervous?
If you just break that stem in half,
okay, there was too much.
To fit it in.
All right. I'm not even commenting on that one. Look. I would be fired from your bar straight away. Hang on. Do this in front of the customer. There you go, Nick. That's amazing.
Thanks, mate.
So bad. But tastes good.
Not bad.
Right?
Not bad.
Needs more flicking of the mint. Thank you. Oh, actually, while I got you here, I've got some questions. Let me just get my...
Please.
It's gone to sleep. I haven't. All right, here we go. The whiskey we had before, thanks you to Mia. Mia's saying, can you replace whiskey with another alcohol in that drink?
I mean, a whiskey highball is, it should be a whiskey-based number. There's lots of different styles of whiskey that work really well. If you want something lighter, then maybe the Starwood Twofold. Something a bit heavier, the Gospel works because it's a rye base. But if you don't like that style of drink, maybe steer away and... a
whole new drink is a different kind of taste.
Play more with the gin and tonic line of things. You don't need to use tonic. You can use soda in that drink as well.
Yeah, I prefer that too, just personally. Zach's saying, do I really have to use a cocktail glass or any glass suffice when you're making a spritz? I love when you use like an oversized wine glass. Is that normal?
Wine glasses work the best.
Yeah.
You can hold them by the stem. You're not heating the glass up with your hands. It feels invigorating until you break them.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe those.
Absolutely any glass works, especially in the comfort of your own home.
What about like a huge like beer kind of jug?
It's 2 hands.
You're not going to break that one, that's for sure. Kathy's asking, what is your favourite? What is your favourite Christmas morning cocktail?
Mimosa.
Yes.
We're very lucky in Australia that we've got oranges pretty much all year round. In northern Victoria, they grow navels in winter and Valencias in summer. So some Valencia oranges Christmas morning, make them nice and fluffy. A touch of local sparkling and happy days.
Awesome.
Nice way to ease into the day.
On a morning, does a Bloody Mary work, or is that just like in our heads?
Look, I think making a Bloody Mary is great. I personally would prefer to have my tomatoes on toast on the side and stick to the mimosa, just because I'm not a big fan of the texture.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of tricks to getting around the texture of Bloody Mary if that's not for you. You can blitz the tomatoes up and make a tomato water by hanging them overnight. So you've got essentially a clarified version of tomato juice.
Okay. Nice
and clean, works really well with dry vermouth.
Yeah, right.
As an alternative, a little bit lighter in alcohol too.
Good idea. Okay, right. So I got that. So that's. I got a question. My partner is obsessed with espresso martinis. I don't know if that's become the bogan cocktail or not, or is that still okay? It's still acceptable?
There's nothing wrong with drinking.
Okay, that's
espresso
good.
martini.
That wasn't the question though. Just making sure from my own head. When you make the coffee, I know you said you had some cold brew coffee already, but if you make the coffee kind of fresh, how long should it hang out if you're making it for a party?
Look, cold brew coffee is great because you can make it and keep it for a week.
Yep.
Depends on how you brew it. But as long as you're keeping it refrigerated, it stays fresh. It's still got great flavour, and because you're you're adding to it. It's not just the coffee flavour. There's all the other components to it as well. You can pre-batch and get ready for the week ahead.
What if you've made like a batch of espresso and you're using that coffee for it? How long will that last?
I do not have the answer as I have not experimented. I'm sorry.
That's where it becomes bogus, is that right? Okay. Oh God, I had a question. Like with our makeup tutorial and things, a lot of the time it was, look, there's no real kind of rules. Like you can experiment and try that, and I'm sure you can do that making cocktails too. But is there certain things you should stick away from sticking together? Like there's certain, maybe whether it's a mix or a liqueur, that should not kind of go together. Do you think?
No, not necessarily. If you like something, enjoy it. I think the key things are to use, for me, local produce, local products, things in season, because it's going to taste better. If you're using better quality ingredients and good ice, then you'll have a better quality drink.
So what's good ice?
I mean, you want to, I guess, you want to try and set your ice molds to be as large as possible, so that the drink doesn't dilute too quickly.
Okay.
If you're getting a bag of ice from the servo and smashing it up, you're going to have a drink that you have to drink in about 3.5 seconds. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really watery.
Yeah. And maybe stick away from those plastic ones. You know, those kind of plastic ice cubes you get, or is that okay? Sure, they've got a bit of resin. Yeah, no, you don't eat it.
Never seen them.
I'm sure there's a place you can buy and you refreeze them and they kind of reuse them again. It's a bit.
I have heard of these. I've never tried them.
Yeah, good. I'm staying away. I haven't done it right.
Ice is nice. Adds dilution. Makes it cold.
I reckon too. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. This is great. So, and look, as far as Christmas days go, it's good to have this kind of out. Do you think? Are you one of those kind of people that says, obviously not a cocktail, it's harder to mix up, but put this out, you got glasses out, I might give you the first one and you're happy for people to come up to the bar. Is that couth to do?
Yeah, for sure. Provide some instruction.
Yeah.
Lead the way. I find it's always best to demonstrate, make the first one for the people, or batch everything with instructions.
Yeah.
Put a card on the table that says 60 mils of this and 60 mils of that.
It's a good idea.
Happy days.
Yeah, totally. Hey, Nick.
Take the confusion out of it.
Yeah, totally. Thanks so much. Cheers to you. Thank you for more inspiration for Christmas Day.